Hi, Gemini. It's Angela from Grounded Dreamers. We're here to do your June, happy birthday, 2022 energy update or soul guidance reading. We're going to find an aspect or an area of your life to focus on, and then utilize that to allow us to transform, shift our experience into a new perception or a new way of being and receiving the energies. Okay, this is all about soul growth. This isn't predictive. We're not talking about real outside influences or, relationships or job decisions. This is not a predictive reading. It's more intuitive and has to do with the energies that are present within and how we manage those and how we use those to facilitate our soul growth. Okay. The Oracle deck, I usually pull one card as a guidance and then use the Zen deck to give us clarity on the process. So the Oracle deck I'm using is the Native Spirit deck by Denise, Linn. And your card, Gemini, I pulled Ancestors. So let's see. In Native culture, ancestors are a huge part of the guidance, and the indigenous people look to the wisdom of their ancestors. Everything that they experienced and endured and achieved and triumphed over is a lesson for all of those generations to follow. And as time moves on, those who are on the planet here are even more and more evolved because they're pulling from the guidance of those that came before them. And at this point, for you, Gemini, if there is a point in your life or a part of your experience right now that needs guidance, you're being called to look to your ancestors for their wisdom. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of clarity work here with the Zen cards, and I'm going to do that right now. We have, this is your starting point row. They're the very starting point card, the internal energies that support it, and the external manifestation as a result of the combination of these energies. And then we have this card as the pivot point or the key to moving forward to a new level of awareness, which is shown up here. We have a landing point, inner and outer, internal, external. So basically we have a through line here of your alignment and the road and the path to take with the inner being on board, and then how it shows up in your external world as well on both levels. Okay. So as it relates to ancestors, Gemini, yeah, look at that. Your first card, your starting point is your inner voice. So there may be a sense, maybe you have loved ones that have passed on that you communicate with, and you may speak out loud, or you may see signs from them. If somebody, I've heard different instances, like, if a bird comes by, oh, I know the bird represents this loved one and the feather represents this one. And, all the signs and elements that are around you are spirit calling you. And internally within you, you know this. And I like that this is your starting point, because this is something that's already established. Like, you already know that you have various ways to communicate with your loved ones who have passed on. But this is being the starting point. This is like, okay, how can I expand it from here? How can I really utilize this for myself? And this card is also, I like how the intuition, like this third eye here, is there's an opening here, and where we receive the vibration and we receive the energy from spirit, from up above. So it's an opening of your inner being opening up to spirit world. I love this. That's a beautiful starting point there. Internally and within you, well, yeah, look, this is the opposite, isolation. This is the cutting off of that energy, of that receiving, energy from spirit. This is severing yourself. And this is your inner being. So, this is an internal vibration that is going with this vibration. So there may be points, sticky points within you where you've cut off, or you've pulled away, or you've severed yourself from this awareness of, your ancestry and all those that have come before you, really being there for you at all moments. You may have forgotten that for a minute, or it may have gotten to, maybe your focus was on the loss. And so it got too sad. So you had to sort of shut down a certain space within you about it. But the guidance here is to always know that, your inner voice, your inner being is really the biggest and best guide to go forward. And that inner being is a combination of all those who have come before you, and all that you have learned, all the wisdoms that you carry, all the mistakes that your ancestors have made, and all the mistakes that you've made are also a part of your inner wisdom, right? It's what marks the, the growth and the learning is when we make mistakes, we can correct them and move on and get better. But there is this part of you that is, maybe has been recently, icing it out, kind of, pulling away and retreating a little bit from the flow of energy that's present right with you. Okay. But if you look at this figure, frozen in their solid, the only way to melt the ice is the tears, right? This figure will show their true emotions and show their true self to help to soften that the wall of ice that's keeping them from their progress or from the communication with others. Okay, so let's see what this external card is. Oh yeah, look. So your inner self knows innately. It knows that your ancestors are always with you, and that spirit world is a big part of how you move forward and how you achieve and learn in this lifetime. But maybe there's been a period where you've cut yourself off from that, or you decided not to focus on it so much. Well, now it's time for a fresh start. It's time to go ahead and allow this sort of, iced out vibration to fade away. And it's time to take your step, toward that connection again, right? Or this could also mean, just literally, I've had to isolate for a minute. I've had to, maybe you were ill, or, something else was going on in your life where you had to physically remove from the flow of your life, but now it's time to get going again. Okay. With the guidance of your ancestors, your path looks clear, right? Okay. And then moving forward, the key to moving forward, I got ordinariness. So this is kind of just saying, you know what, go about your days, maybe possibly even be out in nature more, pace yourself, take your time. This is that sort of day in, day out, chop wood, carry water kind of vibration that really can support us as we, try to move forward down our path. We think when we're set off on a new venture, or we set off on a new way of doing things, that we have to just trudge forward and absorb it all and get it all done. Well, no, pace yourself. This is okay. Your ancestors are on board. They're helping you towards your goals and your wishes and your dreams. And if you would just know that, you can rest kind of in every moment and allow this information and allow that guidance to come forth in its natural way, instead of forcing it, with the danger of missing something important, or an important, piece of information or communication along your path. Okay, next level of awareness here, as you are aligned with your inner being and letting that iced out vibration kind of melt away and opening up your world again, and staying connected to those who came before you. Your new level of awareness, your new landing point is new vision. This is like something fresh to set your sights on. You can now go forth with clarity, knowing what it is you want and moving right toward it. You have all the support, and you always will, but by really tapping into that knowledge now, it's shining a light on those things that you want to achieve. And this could be something that's physical in your life that you want to achieve, like a new job or a new car or a new relationship, but it could also be achieving a new sense of being, right? An easier way. This more ordinariness in my life does not mean boring, right? It means a steady movement and a sure-footed way to move toward my goals. That brings clarity as well, that slower pace. Within you're getting this. Look at that. Cause to celebrate. You get it. You feel that path that maybe some of your ancestors have taken, before you, or you're feeling that each step along the way, you'll be guided in the time that you need to. And that just fills you with elation. You know that by staying connected to spirit and staying open, not cutting yourself off, one step at a time at your own pace is the recipe for your success. And you know that within. You're feeling it. You feel joy within, because, when you get to this level of awareness, things become easier. Set your sights on it and move toward it, right? And then your final card after the new vision and the celebration is the dream. So this is that vibration of, oh, you know what? Maybe this is, listen to your dreams. Pay attention. Pay attention to your dreams, because I just got this vibe that your ancestors may speak to you through your dreams. They may communicate with you through imagery or any kind of symbolism or verbally words in your dream state or in your meditation, right? It's when your mind is relaxed and off duty, right? When you're asleep and your subconscious takes over, or when you're in meditation and you can quiet all the chatter, listen, because that may be when you're being communicated with the loudest by your ancestors and your elders and those who came before you, who are wanting you to have the fullest and most abundant life experience that you can possibly have. Okay. This is all a deep inner work, this whole reading, and it's really opening up those channels to communicate and connect with those who came before you. We spend a lot of times in our mental energy as human beings. Got to plan this, got to do that. Here's step one, here's step two. I got it all figured out. And then our inner being and our connection to spirit sometimes gets put aside. Maybe that's some of what this isolation vibration is too. Your inner being and that part of you that deeply knows that there's way more to all of this than just what we see and touch and feel, right? Or this human phase of the way we live. There's way more. And we know that. But maybe part of that knowledge has been removed from your experience lately. And it is time to open up those channels again and be in touch with spirit and the divine, so that you can proceed forward with a more fully embodied self and way of being as you move toward all the goals that you have. Okay. All right, Gemini, that's it for now. I'll see you again real soon. And I love you guys.